So this is a second mode of operation here. Um, so there's the web browser interface, which is good for getting an overview of the project and looking at single files, or a small number of files, just to get a feel for things, maybe even download and use a couple things, a couple files. But I think what's probably going to be also common, especially for people that are developing code, is to use the command line interface. And so I linked in the document to a site where you can download Git for Windows or Mac. And you would need to do that before you could go and use this command line interface. And so in the command line interface, what I need to do, I'll show you an example of how that works. So I go into my repository here. So again, starting from the main site, I go to the repository. And whenever you go into a GitHub project like this, you can go over here to this green clone or download bar. Click on that, and it gives you this link. So I can copy that, paste over here. I'll paste it in a minute. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. I'm going to make a directory. I'm just going to call it temp. Oh, it already exists. It's called temp2. I'm going to cd into that. Okay. And now I'm going to use this function called get clone. Right. So that's the address that I copied from over here. Hit enter. And so it downloads all that file structure. And so if I look, I see it made a new folder in the folder I just created. So I didn't necessarily need that folder that I made, but it's a subfolder now. And I can see that over here in these folders are reflected the changes or the file structure that's over here. Right, and so I can go down into any of these now, go into the UMISH, and look here and see, I have the same files here, this rename file and this stem classes file. And the command line, as I do over here, reflected on the site, right? So those are consistent with one another. And so where Git becomes useful then is, for instance, I may make a new file. So let's see, I'll make, let me use this touch command, temp.txt. Make this new file called temp.txt, and I'll just open it and add some random stuff to it. So maybe I open this up. This is a test file, and I can save it and close. Right, so here it is, and so now I've added a new file. What I can do is do git add star, and so this makes a running list of things I'd like to add to push back to the cloud, right? For other people to see, so I do git add star, then I do git commit -m. This is -m means leave a message, so made this temp test, right? And so it's getting ready to do that. It's all set now. It's got this message associated with it, and now I do git push, right? And so it gives me this message back. It's sending it back up to the cloud, right? And so now if I refresh this, those new files that were made, including this twiddle, that was this temp.txt twiddle file that was made by default, got pushed up to the cloud, right? And so those changes are up there. And so I can do similar things. So if I open up this particular file in here and I want to add another comment in here, let's see here, I make a change to this file or someone else makes a change to it. So here's an example of a comment. I'm going to added a new comment, right? All right, I changed that file. Now I want to do a git add, so it adds everything. Git commit, added another comment. Right, and then git push. Right, and so can see that I just changed this file a couple minutes, literally a minute ago, and I refresh the master up here, and I see added another comment, right, 22 seconds ago. And so anybody else that's looking at this is going to see these changes as they happen. And so one final thing is, say I walk away from my computer for a while, or I walk away from this project for a week or so, and I get back down into this folder. The first thing I want to do is to do a git pull, right? And so what that does is it goes and checks the main site, where the project lives in the cloud, and make sure that we're up to date. And so this, because we just freshly modified, it's already up to date, so it's telling us that, and so we're good. But as you start to build these projects and as lots of people work on them, you want to do a git pull whenever you open up a project to work on from scratch.